Hello and welcome to Issues and Insights. I'm Bryce Shumate, your host from Magnolia Bank, and today we have got a great guest with us. Josh Basham from Red Hill Cutlery is with us today. And Josh, thanks for being on our show with us today.
Appreciate the offer.
Hey, we've got a big event coming up in Radcliff on September 9th.
Yes, sir.
And it's called Bourbon Blades. And how long has Bourbon Blades been going on? I know last year there was a humongous crowd.
Well, we started it the fourth year. The first year we started it was with John Michael Montgomery. And because of COVID stuff, we didn't get to fully embrace the whole thing. We still had it. It wasn't as big. We couldn't have a concert ever for all the restrictions. Went to Billy Ray. Then last year we had Leanne Rhymes, which was our biggest draw.
Yeah, and I mean, that day, I was out there with you all, and my gosh, the crowd was really big that evening for when Leanne Rhymes came. But I mean, people kept adding all day. You had groups playing starting at
like 2 o'clock, yeah. And that's that same thing we're going to do this year. We'll start about 2. The knife show and sale starts about 10, but the music starts about 2 o'clock.
Okay, so. Tell us this year, we've got some pretty up-and-coming new artists that have currently got some hits that are on the, I want to say radio, I don't want to say
streaming.
Records.
How would you say that?
Yeah, I mean they're very popular right now. So tell us who we've got coming up.
Well, we tried something a little different this year.
Okay.
We tried to do it based on social media, and we tried to do it based on younger artists. Somebody that kind of crossed over. So all 4 of them are our current radio streaming artists. We're going to start off about 2:30 with Frank Ray. After Frank Ray, we'll have Alana Springsteen. Then we'll have Tyler Braden.
Now, when you say the first one starts at 2, about how long is each concert
About
set?
45 minutes to an hour each set. So roughly by 7 o'clock, we'll get the Tyler Braden in. Tyler Braden will be opening up for Gabby Barrett, which is our headliner. She goes on about 9.
So each one of these, when you start at 2, they'll play for 45 minutes to an hour, and then you got to give them a little bit of time because that band has to break down and the new band has to set up.
They have to break down, set back up, and then we go roll again.
But during that time that they're breaking down and setting up, you've got all kinds of events that are going on besides just the concerts, correct?
Yeah, the concert is great. Don't get me wrong. But as a knife guy, and even like younger people coming in wanting to learn how to collect and stuff, it's really exciting to have at 10 o'clock, starting about 11. We're open at 10. We have event knives that go on sale at 10 o'clock. They never last long. 11, we have CJ Buck, which is the CEO and chairman of Buck Knives, 4th generation in the knife industry.
And he's there at 11?
He's there at 11 to 4.
Okay.
Buck has been fantastic. They've sponsored a big portion of the event. They're our headline sponsor. It's Bourbon Blades presented by Buck Knives. All the stuff that they're offering this year. They're presenting. We're going to have 3 or 4 limited edition knives will be given away with purchases during the day, chances to win. We'll also have, they're bringing, I think, 1,000 to 2,000 special coffee camping mugs to give away to the first.
Very cool.
Company. And the neatest thing, I think, which there's all kinds of stuff going on, but the neatest thing, I think, is instead of typically when we have these knife celebrities here, they sign the boxes or certificates. CJ will actually be bringing a Dremel tool and signing the actual blades.
Oh, that's awesome.
And dating it. So, that's a pretty unique collectible, really, if you think about it, because, he's been in the knife business for 34 years.
And here's something to think about, you all. Maybe you might want to think about, and I'm going to do this for my grandson, buy a knife for him. Of course, now my daughter's going to be saying, Dad, don't buy a 3-year-old a knife. But, this is signed by a Buck. How many generation?
4th generation. And
so this guy's last name is actually Buck. So, we've got a Buck knife signed by a family of Buck. And so...
his great-great-grandfather started the company like 1904.
Which is so cool.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
So, I'm actually going to buy a knife and get Mr. Buck to sign it for Denver, our grandson.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He can have
It'd be very cool.
What a great collectible to have.
And I mean, on top of that, I mean, a lot of guys might go, I don't buy buck knives. Buck's been around forever. They're as big as case.
Exactly.
On top of buck, which they're going to be fantastic to have, because this is the first time I think CJ's been in our area. It's the first time he's been at our store, so it's a big event for us personally as a family. But also, we have Rosecraft Blades, which they're a fairly new company, maybe 2 or 3 years old, but they've got a lot of momentum going towards them.
And you've sold a lot of Rosecraft blades. I've sold a lot of Rosecraft blades.
Yeah, they've reached out to us. They reached out to us, and we were one of their first bigger dealers. I don't want to say big dealers, but when they brought in, we've really pushed them, and they've been a great partner with us.
Very popular.
Very popular. They'll be here. The general manager and lead designer, and the one that we're getting a lot of guys wanting to come in to see Swags, which she's got a big social media following. She's a knife designer for them as well. And
they're trying to build a new foundry in the United States, correct?
Yes. Yeah, they're actually trying to. So most of their stuff everything's designed in America, but some of it's made offshores. But they're really got a grassroots movement to get a factory in America and start building most of their production in America. So that's a big thing for them right now.
Absolutely. And I know it's a big thing for a lot of our knife collectors too, that come in and want U.S. made knives, and I've got to say their collection, their knives that they have are quality knives.
They really are. And you can't really, other than the China sticker on it, but besides that, I put the quality up to them against any other brand in the store, really. I mean, they just have a fantastic quality. They'll be there, and that's a big deal too as well, because they don't really do a lot of shows, and they're coming in for us to help us out. So we'll have them. We'll have some other vendors too setting up. We'll have chainsaw carving out front. He's going to be carving like a 10-foot buck 110.
Now, folks, we want you to know that's wood only. We're not carving up any people.
Right.
We're just
Chainsaw
wood
carver,
only.
yes.
Yeah.
He's
no chainsaw massacre, just
like a
chainsaw wood.
12-foot buck 110. Or 10-foot buck 110, I'm sorry. 10-foot buck 110, which is still pretty cool. So we're going to have it. He's going to be carving that for us. And it's going to be it's going to be a big day. We'll have food trucks. There'll be no reason once you get up there to leave. You'll have everything handled.
Now, in years past, we've had some folks that came up that even sharpened knives and so on.
We've had that in the past because of situations out of our control, we don't offer that. It's a service we're looking into to try to offer in the future. We don't offer sharpening right now, you know that, but we won't have that offered this year. But I think everything else as a whole will be a pretty big deal. And the other brands that are coming, they're going to have some stuff to give away. So there's going to be a lot of
things to give away that day.
It's a really good day. A lot of people use that day as a kickoff to like their Christmas shopping too, because we have all the sales and a lot.
Not that I'm into Christmas.
No, not at all. But I mean, we have so much inventory right now, and we'll have other event knives. I think we have 2 with, if I remember correctly, we have 2 with buck. We have 2 with case. I think we're going to try to have our bourbon barrel wood case knife SFO come in. We've been waiting for it for about 6 months, so it's supposed to be in.
And we got some bourbon barrel wood and bear knives as well.
And a lot of the Halloween knives, which is Halloween, it's a whole other thing with Halloween knives. Those will all be debuting that day as well.
Now, what a lot of people don't know that are watching right now is that you draw a lot of the designs for those specific knives that you're talking about, and those are made by who?
Those are made by Bear and Swiss Army.
Okay.
But I do all the designing for all the stuff we do in-house.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
No.
And there's a lot of collectibles. You ship those out everywhere.
When we first got up to the hill to our new location, I always told people this is how we judged or gauged our popularity, I guess you could say, is that we used to always, when we got new product, we got to get it on the floor, or we got to get on the website, because that was our bread and butter with shipping. We might have 2 customers a day at the old store. This new store, we got to get on the shelf. But shipping is still, you have a dead day, we still ship, probably 300, 400 packages a week, which is pretty impressive for a small mom and pop.
It's a lot.
Cutlery store, yeah.
It's a lot, and people don't realize, you all that are watching right now, if you haven't been up to Red Hill Cutlery, I mean, it's right off of 313, not very far off of 31W. In fact, from 31W and 313 Joe Prather intersection, you can look back towards I-65 and see both Red Hill Cutlery and Boundary Oaks Distillery up there. I'm sorry, I'm going to blame that on old age, Brent. I'm sorry. Boundary Oaks Distillery sitting up on the hill there, and that's where this festival will actually be that day on September the 9th. But it's so cool to go in there because people don't realize how much you all have in inventory as far as knives, and how much Brent has when you can come at the Boundary Oaks and do a tasting and come over to the knife store. And so it makes a real good partnership for Bourbon and Blades, because that's where the name came from, because of the two businesses up there.
Right, that's exactly right. And I had an interesting customer, a group of guys come in yesterday. And I told the guy, I said, I'm going to steal that from you. And he goes, you can have it. He said, it was a group of dentists, if I'm not mistaken. They go on a bourbon trail every year as like a bonding thing. And he goes, you can't go on the bourbon trail without stopping by Red Hill Cutlery. And I went, I'm going to use that. And he goes, you can have that. He said, every year we've done it for 3 years now, which we've only been up there 3 years. He goes, we always stop here. It's always our most.
How cool is that?
Pretty neat, yeah. That's what I told him. I said, I'm going to use that. And he goes, we always stop at Red Hill. That's
cool. And, you know, folks of you all that are into bourbon, like myself and several others, you know, that are collectors, there is a booklet that has the Bourbon Trail on it, and Boundary Oak is one of the distillers that's actually on the Bourbon Trail. And how cool is it that Red Hill Cutlery is right up there, because so many people will come out of Boundary Oak and come straight over, or vice versa.
We work really well together, and we've really created like a destination in Radcliff to where they can come up, they can go to the bourbon tasting. Brent's got some amazing selections of expensive bottles and collectible bottles. Yes. I even saw the other day he's coming out with wine, or a wine-flavored bourbon, which is super cool. But we work really well together.
You probably have a little cheese with your wine.
Probably a little bit. He's got the concert will actually be in the back parking lot of Boundary Oak, which parking will be over by behind Hampton Inn, and we'll have some preferred parking up closer behind our building. But
let's talk about that a little bit. I know there's such a crowd, and I know people are thinking, what am I going to do for food? What am I going to do for drink, refreshments, what have you? You've got several food trailers, and I think Boundary Oak even has refreshments set up too, correct?
We have 7. We're local. Been here all of our life, just like you all. We have local food trucks. We try not to get a lot of branch out. We try to help the people that help us. We have 7 local food trucks that'll be offering all kinds of an assortment of food. It's literally a full day. You could come and pop your chair up.
I hope they don't run out, because, I mean, that is a big crowd. Last year was like, what, 14,000?
14,000 last year is what we hit the record at. Brent will be doing beer and bourbon, of course, and some mixed drinks and stuff like that too. So they handle all that stuff. But it's a full day. There's also, if you do want to go, there's Colton's right down the street. There's the hotels usually book up so people can go back and forth. And
literally, you can walk up the hill from all 3 of the hotels that are right there. You can walk up the hill, and we talked about bourbon and Boundary Oak having bourbon and beer and so on, but it is a family. We want everybody to know, just because there's drinks there, this is very much a family-oriented festival as well.
Absolutely. We have several kids that come up to the show with families. You know, my biggest thing is that no one really says, we don't advertise as much, but it's bring your own chair. So a lot of folks will, in years past, have come up at 10 o'clock, pop their chairs up, then come shop and go to Brent's, get a tour, and then, but the kids get a kick out of meeting these guys. They can see a guy carving a knife out of a chainsaw, which is pretty cool. So we try to keep it family. We have all families, and ours will be up there running around that day too, but we try to keep it all family oriented. It is Bourbon and Blades, and I get where the confusion could be, but yeah, it's a absolutely fun, family-friendly event. We
want to make sure everybody understands that, because,
and free.
Yes, it is very much free. Where can you go anywhere in the United States and be able to get a free concert, and not just one person up there? We've got basically four different concerts that are going to be happening that day from well-known artists.
the girls at the shop, which I can't say enough about the folks I have working with me at Red Hill.
Thank you.
They've been fantastic as always. But they've been even telling me that they've had a lot of people call from out of town, out of state coming, because I've had several people tell us that we're coming from out of state because it's cheaper for us to get a hotel room and bring our whole family and go see a free concert than to go an hour away and to see this concert, because
paid for the
exactly,
tickets and so on.
What are tickets? $100. I don't go to concerts. You go more than I do. $100 probably.
Yes, for one.
For one, right?
Yeah.
So you can bring the whole family. It's outdoors, weather permitting. It's really a fun day.
And we want to thank the city of Radcliff for being so helpful on all the assets that they give to help put this concert on as well.
There's a real, as I said with the food trucks, we try to keep it local. There's local we work with City of Radcliff's fantastic to work with. We work with Radcliff Fort Knox Tourism, which is also amazing. I said Buck's our sponsor. Sicilian Bank has been with us from Jump Street. So we're Abound Credit Union's a new one we got this year. Brandenburg Telephone, Basham Lumber.
You don't know that.
Nah. West Point Bank. So we've got a full. But it's really neat because they typically reach to us.
And that doesn't count the two businesses that are up there with Red Hill Cutlery and Boundary Oak Distillery.
Because we don't pay for outside advertising. Everything is done by Red Hill. Boundary Oak has a great working relationship with us. They're fantastic to work with as well. So it's a real common group of locals that put this thing together.
And we want you to know that everybody will be safe up there that day.
Mm-hmm.
Radcliff Police have got several officers that are there the whole day, the whole time that is going on. Not only do they help you get in, they're there for safety, and they'll help you get out that evening with directing traffic and so on. It's very well organized. Mm-hmm. They're there directing traffic and showing you where to park.
And that's one of the biggest compliments we can get, I think, and I think I told you that last year. We have so many people come up to us and goes, "There's no issues.
Oh.
The parking is easy. Everybody gets out easy. They shut the roads down at certain times. It's such a well orchestrated and organized."
And last year we even had ATVs that were helping people from the parking lot that weren't able to walk that long distance, and so on up to the festival itself.
And handicap, that was one thing they wanted some more handicap parking. They can pull up to the store. We can find you a handicap spot.
And we don't want to leave out Radcliff Fire Department, because Radcliff Fire Department is up there making sure if anybody has an emergency.
EMS as well.
And EMS as well, come up there and make sure that they're there standing by in case anybody has a health emergency, gets overheated.
It's like I said, it's a local event. We work with the sheriff, we work with the jailer. We get them to come help with things too. So we have it's the whole community pulled together for this. And
the cool thing is, it starts to showcase, like you said, those types of things, and you kind of. There is a history there with Red Hill Cutlery that a lot of people don't know about, and where it started, where it came from, and how we are where you are today.
Oh yeah, well. It really goes back 60 years if you think about it. My grandfather and my grandmother, Junior and Shirley Basham, started Basham Lumber Company. Then Dad and my mother, Kim, bought it out, and we moved from there. Then, in lumber business, winters are terrible. So Dad always tried to figure out a way to kind of recoup some money during the holidays. So we tried to get into the Christmas, and nothing really worked. We did the single case display. It grew from a single case display selling out to a bigger display to remodeling our drywall building and shipping and having a website and all that kind of stuff. And then it just grew into, as I always tell my wife, Jennifer, I wish I could do a video one day of all the places that we looked at. Me and Dad searched for years and years and years trying to find a good location for us to move to, because we knew if we got it between him and my brother and me, we knew if we could get it to another location, it would just take off. And one of the biggest things we could have done is work with tourism, and I sing tourism praises as much as I can. They've helped us with we have a museum inside the store. We have the world's largest pocket knife outside. all this kind of stuff would not have been accomplished unless we had a fantastic working relationship with the city of Radcliff, JJ, and his office, Ashley, and all of them, and especially the Radcliff Fort Knox Tourism.
They've been wonderful, and great employees, like you said, at Red Hill Cutlery. And
Yes.
that day, you're going to have several people on hand to show people knives. It is a large crowd that comes into the store that day.
We try to get everybody out organized, fast. I always say that we have the best. I have the best team up there. We have, we'll have probably between the people from representing companies, we probably have 18, 20 people working that day. I have the best team. I can't name everybody off the top of my head, but Robin is my right hand there. And I'll be honest with you, I can't say anything. I mean, we even get our family members to come in. My wife will be driving the bands and stuff, and she probably doesn't get enough credit that she deserves because I'm sure Kim knows, you rant and rave to them when you get home.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, my mom will be out there. I mean, we'll all be out there. It's still, no matter how big it gets, the event, the store, it's still a family business.
And even though I work at Magnolia Bank now, I'll be there that day.
Yeah.
I still work a Saturday a month at sometimes more.
And you've been a godsend, really.
I'm to tell you all, it is so much enjoyment to be up there and be around all those people that love what they're doing and being around knives. I know as a kid, there is a fascination with a pocket knife. Mm-hmm. But we have folks coming in of all ages, and you get to stand there and talk to them about how cool this, and they're so interested in it as well. And
that's what we always tell new employees too, is that you learn from the customer as much as you do from the other staff.
Exactly.
Because they come in, they know everything, and it is cool. You can literally go in a day from selling and you know this better than I could tell. You can go in one day to selling a knife to a soldier, because everybody thinks Red Hill Cutlery kitchen, and we do offer kitchen, but it's a knife that could save a life of an officer. It's the kid's first knife that wants to collect a knife like Grandpa. It's a woman that wants something in her purse for self-defense. It's the guy that collects every case trapper that's ever been made. It's just such a diverse group.
And then we have kitchen cutlery
Mm-hmm.
as well. So a lot of people don't realize that you have a gamut there of anything from throwing knives to throwing axes to swords, ninja type samurai
knives.
Swords, hunting knives. I mean, it is just a large conglomeration. And the cool thing is now, if people go off and forget their chair, we actually sell a few chairs.
Just for Bourbon Blades,
yeah,
really. Yeah,
exactly. And there's some things there that you have for Bourbon and Blades, that flask and
we have all the merchandise. The first year we did it, everybody, that was our biggest complaint. The only complaint really after the first year was, you don't have T-shirts. So we went to the drawing board. You don't have cups? We did everything. So we have a full array. It's out now. We just actually released all the new shirts and stuff are out now.
And the weather prediction is that it's going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. If JJ's involved with it, you never know. But that's the Duval curse in Radcliff. But no, we've been, knock on wood.
And we're kidding about that, JJ.
We've been very fortunate with weather, and we hope to have another fortunate day. And it is rain permitting. We have like I said, the event, even if it does,
if we have bad weather, it still goes on.
That's right. And you got to think, we got people coming from, right now we've got confirmed at least 8 states, different states coming. And it is a community event, but we draw a lot of people in from other areas.
Last few minutes, let's talk about where people should enter in to get parking and so on as they're coming in that day. What's the best way to enter to be able to park and come up to the festival?
If you're going to come all day, I suggest the parking in front of Red Hill and Boundary Oak is for the customers that are going to be doing the bourbon tours and coming into the Red Hill Cutlery and stuff. That entire back parking lot will be blocked off. So that day, and it's free parking as well. No one ever mentions that, but it's free parking. You can pull behind Hampton Inn. They have a full lot. It's a smooth, great lot to park at. We've got about 3 lots we can pull from to park.
And a lot of that is behind the Walmart market back in their area.
So if you pull to you can pull to the red light by Walmart, or you could pull to just off of 313 where you can see our building from.
And the city last year even put like made some things so that it was easier for you to drive your vehicle up over the curb.
They have little curb jumpers to where you can pull right up, and it's mowed real nice.
So we don't want you all to think you have to have a four-wheel drive to get in there. You're able to get your cars in, no problem. And parking is great. And
I talked to Jeff Cross actually last week, and I said, "Do you think we need more parking?" And he goes, "Maybe." He said, "But we had plenty."
We did have plenty last year, and I will tell you all, the parking runs from in behind the hotel all the way behind the neighborhood market and down the side there of neighborhood market. So, yes, be prepared to walk. Make sure you wear shoes that are comfortable to walk in. Don't come in something that's going to wear a blister on your heel. No high heels.
But we also have several ATVs to call people as well. So we try to accommodate everybody.
Exactly. I was even running an ATV last year, and we brought in several folks that were senior citizens that just couldn't walk that far, and we came back and picked them up. And as far as I know, there's several. You're going to have several of those this year as well.
Yes, sir.
So a great day.
It's a fun day. We're looking forward to it.
Yes. Yes. This year I'm going to be more inside. Last year I was more outside.
You're going to be chained behind the counter till 2 o'clock.
Yeah. So, but it's a good time. You all need to come out and join us on September the 9th. Things start at 10 o'clock that day.
Yes, sir.
Run all the way up until about 10 o'clock that night. So it's really a 12-hour event, and people will still be milling around there even after that time. It is not a long, if you stay all day, it is not a long or hard way to get out. Some people think it'll take forever to get out, but it was amazing how Radcliff Police and Radcliff Fire Department, I believe in the Sheriff's Office, helped direct traffic and get people out of there. They got them out quick.
We were there till probably 11, the staff. We had, at 9 or 10 o'clock, it was over. I told a couple of the officers I was talking to, even Cross, I go, "This is amazing. It was cleared up."
Yeah.
I mean, they had them organized and everything.
Josh, thank you so much for coming in
today
and being on Issues and Insights. And thank you for joining us here on Issues and Insights. Remember, September 9th, up at Red Hill Cutlery and Boundary Oak Distillery, right off 31W and Joe Prather 313. Lots of access there, plenty of parking. Easy to get to, handicap accessible as well. You'll have refreshments all day long. So come out and join us September 9th, starting at 10, going till 10. 4 big concerts going on that day. They start at 2 o'clock. So thank you for joining us here on Issues and Insights and Hardin County Education and Community TV, where we try to keep you informed on not only what's going on in our big community that we call Hardin County, but more especially what's going on in your child's life in the Hardin County school system. Thanks for joining us. I'm Bryce Shumate from Magnolia Bank. You all have a great time out at Red Hill Cutlery and Boundary Oak Distillery for Bourbon and Blades, and enjoy this fall weather after we get through this heat wave.